It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll have a rematch of Super Bowl 54. It's the Niners and the Chiefs on Thursday night primetime.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, a rematch of Super Bowl 54, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Arrowhead. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
First play, Mahomes looking to throw it. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's complete once again to Hopkins. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught left side, Hopkins.
And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Pacheco is in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on the stat sheet. But you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Here's Hardman to return. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now here's Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And past the 30 before he's out of bounds. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, and he was able to get it by play. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open.
Travis Kelce. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds. And what will be the final play of this first quarter?
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now Mahomes. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Here's Purdy.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Purdy sets up to throw again. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. They'll find Ayuk open right side.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line.
The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Purdy will look to throw again here. He's got Ayuk once again. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Chiefs' 25-yard line.
2nd down and 4. Now Purdy. Short throw there, caught by Thomas.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Purdy to throw again on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Fighting through. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackled him for just a short gain.
Here is 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Purdy. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And bulldozing his way through. And now off to the races down the right side. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete.
I certainly thought he had open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34. defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes finding the talented DeAndre Hopkins. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Butker on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. A quick throw there is incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. That'll bring up 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
I don't care what anyone says. To me, it takes a little bit of intestinal fortitude to call a running play in this down and distance. I mean, you're talking 3rd and 10, and sometimes the angles line up really well on a running play.
Well, it caught him totally off guard, obviously.
I think you catch him in some pass drops, and now you're able to fire out and get some space and create it for your runner and let your blockers get a good approach attack on the defenders.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Purdy connects with Kittle underneath.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
What did they call that on?
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Purdy. Returns it right back to Samuel. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing here, Purdy. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan. Apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. 3rd quarter action ready to go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taylor now will return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter. But you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
Starting the 2nd half with a run by McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He was held without a catch in the 1st half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
Couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd down and 4. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And maybe a little over-pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And this one is right through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
You
get greedy in a good way.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
At halftime, you have to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd have this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 36. Now here's Mahomes. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long.
Touchdown! Isaiah Pacheco. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chiefs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From his end zone, here's Trent Taylor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
At the 23-yard line.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now Purdy with a throw that's caught by Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And sometimes when you see a running back lined up out wide, you think maybe he's just a decoy. But not in this case. He was lined up out wide to the left, turned into a primary receiver, and picked up a nice chunk of yardage.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Purdy. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped the pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
They're going to give out a little applause on They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Purdy, big fourth down play. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They go play action here. Purdy toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Purdy sets up to throw again. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the 49ers are able to cut into that deficit. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Moody good with the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. KC's offense ready to take over. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Mahomes to throw. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here's Pacheco once again to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
A handoff now for Pacheco.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now with Gray.
And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory.
It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.